Hello everyone, Eileen Godwin here. I really enjoyed myself today, and I hope that you have also. And I would like to say thank you to Sharon Everett of the Forget Me Not Craft Cabin, not only for organising today, but for inviting me along to join in with you. I'm over the moon. Now this is the card that I'd like to share with you today, and it uses a couple of sweet poppy stencils along with Lavinia stamps. So, no more ado, let me show you how I created this. Here's the stencil, and this is a Sweet Poppy Stencil Snow Globe, and I'm using a magnetic sheet along with a topper cut from cream cardstock, 13.5 centimetres by 17.5 centimetres, and I'm just placing the snow globe over the top, and make sure that it's central so that you've got a border more or less the same all the way around the outside. Pop that down, and then with some Sweet Poppy stencil tape, I'm just taping up the sides. Not necessarily to hold it down, of course, because the magnetic sheet is doing the business there. It's just that I don't want any stray ink onto the cardstock. So I'm just keeping the border nice and clean, away from inky fingers and stray ink going where it shouldn't go. There we are, done. Right. I'm using the largest stencil brushes that I've got. No, they're not stencil brushes, actually. They're makeup brushes. And I got these from Sweet Poppy Stencils. And this one I'm using to apply some blue weathered wood ink. Now, this is a fairly new ink pad. Well, I've had it a while, but it's inky because I haven't used it very often. So I want to make sure I don't put too much on. So taking some of the ink off very lightly onto some spare copy paper, and then very gently, very gentle wrist action, no pressure at all on the head of this brush. You can hardly see the ink. And I'm just going to apply some more. Very gently. Staying over on the left-hand side of the globe. Gorgeous, this snow globe. Coming along the bottom. Still no pressure, just doing a circular motion right the way across. I want the ink to show me the image, or give me the outline of the image on the left-hand side, but as I go across, I'm looking for the ink to fade away. Just a whisper on this outside edge, just to give me, of course, the complete circle. But I don't want to put too much on. I can't really see this now. I can't see this outside edge, but I'm hoping when I take the tape away and lift it up, I have got a complete circle. But now I'm concentrating more ink over on this side, on the left, and then fading it away as it moves over to the right. Bit more on the bottom though, so that can be a little bit darker, bit more ink applied, but again, very light wrist action still, very light. This brush is just skimming across the surface of my cardstock. And that, I'm hoping, will do it. Looks a bit blotchy there, so just keep a circular motion going round. And as the ink soaks in, it will smooth its way out. Let's have a look, see what I've got. Oh, I can't do that actually. I'm telling you fibbers. It doesn't matter that I've taken these off, but I want to apply another stencil on the top, and I need the magnetic sheet, and I need this in place. So leave it for now. And this is a new one by Sweet Poppy Stencils. And I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it. But I will place this on my materials list that I give to Sharon to post in the group. I'll make sure that I include the name of this stencil. But it's a brand new release from Sweet Poppy Stencils. And absolutely ideal for this. So another makeup brush, exactly the same large size. And Tattered Rose Distress Ink. Now this is an older pad, and I'm not going to take any of the ink off, and I'm going to apply a little bit more pressure, starting at the top of the middle of the snow globe and going down, but not into the bottom area of the stand of the snow globe, just into the globe itself. Middle panel, circular motion, going out a little, but I don't want this stencil image to be right the way over. Just want it really in the middle of this globe. Okay. Right. Just remove the stencil now. Let's have a look, see what we've got. Oh, that's nice. And then remove the other stencil. That's gorgeous. So I'm going to move it up to the camera so you can see it a bit more. Now that's quite pale, and that means it will give me a really great background for the Lavinia stamps. They will shine, they will sing, and the snow globe will be there all sort of elegant in the background. Well, that's the plan. I really like that. That's good. Going on now to a stamping, and I'm using a stamp mat. Now you can use a Misty or any other stamping platform if you like. So I'm just popping this onto my foam stamping mat, clearing the decks a little, and using the first image that's going down is the absolutely gorgeous Bron from Lavinia Stamps. And I'm using VersaFine Onyx Black for this. You can use VersaFine Nocturne or any black ink that you are comfortable with. But I like this ink and the VersaFine Clear Nocturne because they are very fluid, and these images need that. So just gently tapping. Want to make sure, because she's a silhouette, she's absolutely covered in ink. Like so. I've covered the block as well, so that needs to come off. So I've got a dry cloth and just removing the ink here. A bit more around there. And now, fingers crossed, I'm going to get a nice solid image. The feet, I'm just going to place on top of there's a snowflake at the bottom, and there's a little branch that comes up. Can you see that? Here. Her feet, I'm aiming for there. And then obviously that hopefully will put her bottom in line over the other side. So pop her toes there. Make sure she's sitting up. Right, let's go for it, shall we? Standing up. Gently pressing. And up. She is stunning. Now I've got a little bit of a mark here of something on the stamp, I think, a little bit of fluff or something, but that's no problem. I can soon, I'm taking a black pencil, in fact. I'm just going to block that in and get rid of that. It was a little bit of fluff. And just mark in or put in any other bits that I need to where it isn't as solid black as I would like. But other than that, Yeah, sorted. Okay, next is little Pippin. He needs to go in as well. And again, I'm using the same ink, VersaFine Onyx Black. And Pippin is a tiny little hare from Lavinia Stamps. He's so sweet. Gentle tapping again. Turn him over, and he's right on the outside. He's still inside the snow globe just. His tail actually might be just outside. Let's have a look. Oh, he's very close. Yes, that's fine. Again, missed a bit from his foot, so I'll just put that in. And there he is. He's gorgeous. He's probably having quite a good chat to Bron. Next, I just want to dry the ink. So it is heat gun time. Just going to give a quick blast to the black images here. Like so. I'm still leaving my stamping mat in place. And now going on to the floral stamps. And these are from Lavinia Stamps. That's because they're grass. There's Silhouette Grass, which is here. Silhouette Grass, and then I've got some foliage stamps, Silhouette Foliage. And these are absolutely lovely flowers. There's 2 sets of flowers in the one set, 2 stamps of flowers in the one set, and this is one of them. I haven't got the other set to show you, but you get 2 lots of wild flowers. Starting off with this Silhouette Grass first, I'm just going to lay this down to give the figures a little bit of grounding. And I'm using a little bit of blue from Archival ink, and this is Cornflower Blue, gentle tapping, and also just a tiny amount of leaf green on the same stamp. Again, it's Archival ink. But I want to take off now 2 lots of the ink. 1, 2, and I've pressed quite firmly because I just want a shadow of these 2 stamps. And I'm popping it down just over the top of this line of the bottom base plate of the snow globe. Like so. So I want to see it, but I don't want it, oh, it's gone too much because it's dried, so I've got to start again. This ink pad isn't very wet, so let's start again. Cornflower Blue, bit of leaf green. I'm not going to press so heavily now to take the ink off. 1, not so heavily. 2, okay, so now it's 3rd generation's going down, but I'm not going to press too heavily on that bottom bit, more on the grass there. Oh, I can just about see that. I'm going to try again. Yes. Now, you can hardly see this. I want to hold it up so that you get the drift. Look, it's just giving me a base here. Can you see that? It's just giving me a line there. And I'm going to use crayons to bring that to the forefront. So it's just there so I know where it is. Okay. So I'm moving on to the next foliage stamp. I'm going to do the same, but not take so much ink off. And for this one, I'm using Rose Madder, inking the flower heads. They're called wildflowers. There's a large stamp called wildflowers with these. And also a little bit of cornflower blue, just as a contrast at the bottom. And then again, I'm going to put on a tiny bit of the leaf green, coupled with a little bit more of the cornflower blue, just a dab. But now I want to take it off again, so that's one pressing down quite heavily, and then this time I'm going over the top of Pippin and pressing quite firmly. And again, it isn't coming out. Ink pad is not as wet as it should be, so I'm just inking up the flowers. I'm giving you warts and all here, and now I'm going to pop this down again without taking that off, and there they are. So phew, we got there in the end. So coming back to those flowers, haven't finished yet. Whilst I've still got some ink on here, I'm going to pop it down next door to her and pressing really heavily. Just can see the outline of the flower. Now I'm going to hold this up again so you can see this. Can you see she's just got the outline of the flower going up behind her hand. That's all I need as a guide, because I'm going to use pencils on that. Right. So let's go. That is all of the stamping as far as I'm aware it is. It's just giving me a shadow of the flowers behind, and then we're going to embellish those flowers. I'm using crayons because that gives me lots more control, and I can still use an eraser if I need to remove them if I overdo it. And that's the story of my life, overdoing it. Right. You can use any crayons you like. I've got polychromos. They're my preferred crayons. And the reason I use these mainly is that my daughter was given them as a gift and she didn't want them, so I bought them at a vastly reduced price. Oh, lucky day for me then. And so consequently I use them a lot. Now, I'm starting off with some of the yellow. Yellow always will brighten up any design. And this flower that you couldn't see, I'm now just scribbling over the heads that I can see of the stamp flower. I'm not being careful, and also those lines of the foliage, again, that you can hardly see, a little bit of yellow there as well. Any shade of yellow that you like. I'm not going too strong, not too bright. But then I'm bringing in some orange as well. Bringing in tiny amounts of orange and add to that grass along the bottom. Stay away from the bottom because we're going to ground her in a moment. But you don't often get told that. And now I'm going to put tiny amounts of orange to warm these flowers up that are near Pippin, bless him. And just giving them a bit of definition as well. So again, with the reds again, or any red will do. Now I'm being very careful here. I don't want this flower to be too much into the foreground. I want it to stay in the background, but I want you to be able to see it as well. Now I also need a tiny bit of blue here to match the blue of the outside, to bring it all together. So I need another pencil. You still with me? Sorry about that. Right, see, I'm so organised. Right, just bringing up tiny amounts very lightly. If you overdo this, you could just rub it out, like so. And I think that I'm going to leave it at that. I'm just looking at my original. Let's have a look. Yes, I've got some more to do in the background, but I think that I'm there with that. We've got the wings to do as well. Finally, I'm taking 2 greys, one very pale and one sort of a browny grey, a darker one called Nougat. Or if you're British, I think it's Nugget. Okay, so get to do a little bit of lightly shading underneath the figure of Bron, and then across, and then under her feet, and then of course bringing in Pippin. So all 3 of them, or all 3 bits, her posterior, her foot, and Pippin are all on the same piece of ground. Now with the Nougat, I'm just popping in some extra shading, not going mad. And if you don't like what you're doing, again, use an eraser to blend, or use an eraser to rub out any bits that you don't like that are jarring. And that will do. You probably can't see this very much either, so I'm going to bring that up. So, there. I think I'm covering up the light. Right. Now, I'm going to speed up a bit now, because otherwise I'll get into trouble for going and over my allotted space. And I think I've done that already. So, off we go with the wings, and I'm just putting on some yellow first. Not taking that much care, as you can see, and some orange. Like so. And there's sort of a greeny lemon as well. And then I'm going to do some magenta. I love this colour. Oh, I love this colour. So it sort of darkens things down. I'm not the world's greatest colourist, or whatever it is they're called. But I know what I like. And with my trusty eraser by my side, if I don't like it, then I'll just rub it out. There we go. And then a bit more lemon over the top just to blend that in. So I'm not colouring in the whole wing, but obviously you can play and you can do what you like. And enjoy, as long as you enjoy. I think that will do me there. That's good. A couple more bits to do and then we're done. I need some gold sparkle pen, a gold sparkle pen, and I have one handy here. And all I did was to highlight some. In fact, I think I did them all, but I didn't go round the whole stenciled image, and this is just highlighting that stenciled image in the background. You can overdo this, so be careful. Oh, and your finger, if you make a mistake, your finger will take this gold pen out. It doesn't dry that quickly, which is handy. Like so. And that just highlights the back of it. There you go. Can you see it? Yeah, just about. Yeah, great stuff. Okay, and the other stamp that I'm using is from a Sweet Poppy stencil set. It's got a large Christmas tree. I don't know what it's called, but there's a large Christmas tree, and there's Happy Christmas and Merry and Wishing You and so on, and 25 or 5th, and I love this. It's so handy. So I'm taking a VersaFine Onyx Black again, gentle tapping. Now, so far, I'm quite pleased with this, so far. Now, come on, fingers crossed. This is where it goes horribly wrong, when I get this and it isn't straight. Ooh. So popping it down, hopefully straight on the rim of the base of the snow globe. And the 5 is just coming off. Come on, Eileen. Right, down, up. Oh, yeah, that's straight-ish. No, it is straight. That looks okay. Oh, good. I do like to live dangerously. And then taking away my mat and using a white Posca pen and a tear-off piece of copy paper to cover up Bron and Pippin, because I don't want to get their lovely silhouette shapes covered in white paint. Good shake. I'm using Perfect Layers because it's nice and heavy, but any ruler will do, or anything that implement that you can use as a whacking tool. And just whack on some snow all over, look. All down, all around the sides. More on the left than anywhere else, mainly because the right is covered up. Take that off, let's have a look. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Okay, clean up. I'm running short of time now. Let's see where we are. So, here is the one that I completed earlier, a few days back. I've now taken another piece of, and getting ink everywhere, another piece of A4 cream cardstock from Paper Mill Direct, and I have folded it, creased it, and cut it into a card blank that will allow me a small border right the way around the edge of my card. And I think the topper size of this is 14.5 centimetres by 18.5 centimetres, this one, the card blank. And taking my topper, which I've got a little bit of ink on, oof, I do want to give that a border. Sorry, I'm going to go back again. Like so. May as well finish things off properly. I have a Sharpie pen. Clean fingers are imperative for this. Just giving that an edge. Try not to stick your fingers in the snow. Like so. So there is my card blank. There's my completed topper that I've just finished. And it's got a few stray bits of ink on, but they'll come off quite quickly with this. And one bit there. I don't think you can see those, but I could. Right, let's have a look. So that one is one that I completed earlier. This is the one that I've just completed now. I hope it isn't much longer than 30 minutes. And enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, Sharon. I've had a blast. Bye for now. See you soon, everyone. Take care.